Sometimes people get really nervous about traveling with their pets. I, for example, am not, but because I travel with them so often, but with coronavirus and just I guess just in general of being on the road, you never know if things can go wrong with your pet. So that's where Vetster comes into play. So can you guys tell us, uh, the people watching, what exactly Vetster is?
Vetster is on-demand virtual pet care. We connect pet owners to thousands of licensed veterinarian professionals all across North America in every state and province, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a true marketplace where you can go online, select any one of a number of licensed veterinary professionals of your choosing, browse through them, pick the one that is the best match for you, and book an appointment instantly online. Um, it's very accessible, it's very affordable, and it's a very efficient way to get pet care, especially when you're traveling or your home clinic is otherwise unavailable.
You actually founded Vetster. What inspired you to create it?
Yeah, it's really came from personal experience. My cockapoo is a senior cockapoo, and she requires vet care pretty regularly for some skin condition that she has. And being a busy person who spends an inordinate amount of time at the office, it was difficult to get her to her appointments. I also had a strange sort of affinity for human telemedicine and was thinking about, that whole industry and how that was going. And I think just marrying the two, human telemedicine and my troubles getting my dog to the vet, really led me to think about, well, what if we did human telemedicine for pets? And that was the first kernel of the idea. So really born out of personal experience.
And how is it different from other veterinary telemedicine apps on the market right now?
I would say that veterinary telemedicine is very new. And so there's a lot of great companies doing a lot of great things in the space. Our specialty is really that our team comes from decades of experience with marketplace and technology and are very sophisticated with marketplaces. So we're trying to bring to the veterinarian industry a beautiful looking, easy to use, great experience for both veterinarian professionals and pet parents. And I think this is really one differentiator from anything that I've seen is just the technology that we're bringing with us is really quite unique to this space. And I think the second thing is really the notion of it being a true marketplace. I come from a long history of working in marketplaces and creating a marketplace where pet owners can ultimately select the care provider, the licensed care provider that they want based on a number of factors, including geography, including time available, and certainly price, is something, again, that's very unique. We're not here to just recommend one care provider. We're letting the pet owner choose through a marketplace the provider of their choice. And so those are two really big differences that I don't see right now. But certainly there are a ton of companies out there that are doing great things in this space. That's our take on it.
So it's almost like a Yelp where you kind of get to read the reviews on the different doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we feel that that is exactly where we're heading. So as more appointments come in and we collect more data, we're going to give more optionality for all pet owners to do exactly that. Pick the care provider that's right for you. So in human telemedicine, in a lot of cases, through my experience, I find that you're just you have a care provider selected for you. We believe that it's your pet and you should have the choice of who you want caring. So have a look at their license, have a look at their history. We give you an About Us section on their profile where you can learn about them, where they went to school, what they like to do, what their specialties are, and eventually arrive at a place that is perfect for you and select the right match.
I'd also like to add, just to Mark's mention there, that another big differentiator for us from the other platforms that are out there right now, and we're just in the final stages of making it a really seamless process. So if your pet, if you consult with a veterinarian, depending on what state you're in, there's over 20 US states now where veterinarians can speak to a diagnosis and prescribe for that pet at the completion. And that's all going to be built into our software. So you'll have your appointment, the veterinarian will make a prescription, and that will arrive delivered to the pet owner's door.
Are there any preventative measures pet owners can take before traveling with their pet? Like any items they should travel with, or just so their animal's comfortable?
Well, first and foremost, they should have their Petster or Vetster account made up and know how to log into it for the area that they're visiting. And certainly in terms of specifically to their own pets, I think it's always important to be mindful of any kind of prescription medication that your pet may be on, making sure you have sufficient quantities and that you don't run out mid-vacation, and traveling, in a vehicle or with other people at other people's homes, making sure to bring bedding and carriers and things that would make your pet feel comfortable in a different place.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for that information. How can people reach out to Vetster and use its services?
Well, it's very simple. Vetster.com is the quickest way. We'll be releasing our app shortly after the new year. But for now, Vetster.com, and you can sign up for an account, a free account, within minutes, and then be ready whenever you'd like to use Vetster. And I'd like to also add, it's not just for emergency situations. We are really working hard at changing the way that people view pet care. So it's not, right now, pet care is done mostly through a passive way where you do have an emergency or a situation and you need vet care. We'd like to see a much more proactive approach. And what we mean by that is that you're constantly looking after your pet, thinking about things like nutrition and diet and overall well-being. And those types of things you can also find on Vetster. So if you have some downtime over the holidays as well, and you just want to get a well-being check for your pet, it's a good time to spend the time and look out for your little buddy.